James Conner has been an outstanding running back for the Arizona Cardinals this year, on pace for a 1,000-yard season. Kyler Murray has been on fire. But on Sunday, the Seattle Seahawks defense shut down this red-hot Arizona Cardinals offense. It's an exciting time in Seattle because, as we know, offense will win you games during the regular season, but defense is what wins you games in the playoffs. Welcome to Josh's Football Breakdowns, where we don't tell you what you're seeing, we let the film tell us what we're seeing. And what we saw on Sunday was a defensive masterclass by Seattle, so let's get right into it. New Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald is coaching up what is becoming an impressive roster on the defensive side of the ball, with talented players all over the field. And I don't know if Boye Mafe is being talked about enough in the NFL. 9 sacks last season, 5 more already this season, and here he gets home to Kyler Murray on just the second play of the game. The players are executing and the coaches are making shrewd play calls, dropping Derek Hall into coverage and bringing Tyrese Knight on the rush. And it's still just a 4-man rush for the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody else drops back, so no quick throws available to Kyler Murray. But by doing it this way, look what Seattle has done. They've overloaded the left side of that Cardinals line, sending 3 rushers against 2 pass blockers. And the Cardinals, of course, don't know that Seattle's going to do this. They don't slide their line, and both tight ends and the running back go out for pass routes, meaning somebody is going to be unblocked. Now, if you have to leave somebody unblocked, you want it to be the outside man, right? Paris Johnson does the right thing here. He takes the inside rusher, meaning Mafe, the furthest guy away from the quarterback, is going to be the one unblocked. But with Mafe's speed, it really doesn't make a difference. Now that they force the Cardinals into a 3rd and long situation, they bring the pressure with a pretty aggressive blitz here, 6 men on the blitz. But there are some sound principles behind what they're doing here. For one thing, they set the rest of their defense up right at this line to gain. So on 3rd and 13, Arizona is now faced with the difficult choice of having to complete a pass underneath, short of the first down, or try to throw over the top of it, but Seattle leaves a safety back deep. And the Seahawks have the luxury of having a safety back deep even after a 6-man blitz, because Arizona, after the previous play, quite understandably, has left a man in to help with pass protection. Kyler Murray tries to take off, but the pass rush gets home, and the Seahawks force Arizona to go 3 and out on their opening possession with back-to-back sacks. Murray thinks he sees a lane here, but again, take a look at the rookie, Tyrese Knight, and how effortlessly he gets off this block and corrals Kyler Murray for the sack. So the Seahawks get the ball, but here they would be facing a 3rd down and 7. And here we see a couple of things. Number 1, Geno Smith starts to buy time. And number 2, watch DK Metcalf move to space, and then Geno finds him and gets him the football. It's a 29-yard gain on the play and impressive chemistry between the two of them. Now, eventually Seattle would have to punt on this drive, but again, I was really impressed with this play and I wanted to make sure I showed it to you guys. This game was a battle, and there was a lot of back and forth between these two teams. But eventually, Arizona would strike first with a field goal, taking the lead 3-0. And we're going to pick things up with Seattle driving, trying to score some points before the end of the half. And Seattle makes the perfect play call. It's almost as if they knew what Arizona was going to run defensively, because this time it's the Cardinals that send a 6-man blitz. But there's a key difference to the play. This time Seattle sends 5 receivers out into the pattern. Arizona has to match up with them, so they no longer have the luxury of leaving an extra safety back deep. There are 0 safeties on the field. It's a 0 blitz. So the defenders for Arizona have to give these receivers a lot of space. And the Seahawks lean into it, calling these very deep, long developing routes. Except for Jackson Smith-Njigba, who runs almost parallel to the line of scrimmage. He's able to get through all that traffic because Seattle has also called a screen pass against the blitz. Like I said, it's the perfect play call. There's only one man who has a shot at JSN, and when he misses, JSN is off to the races. And I absolutely love what I see at the end of the play here. Cody White blocking 40 yards down the field. And you may have noticed that the Seahawks put 4 receivers on one side of the formation. The defense is forced to shift so that when JSN comes back the other way, Seattle has already removed all the defenders from that side of the field. Jackson Smith-Njigba would finish what he started, capping off the drive with a fairly routine goal line play. Touchdown Seahawks. It's an important score that puts the Seahawks up 7-3 right before the end of the half. Alright, let's move ahead to Arizona's first drive of the third quarter. Whether it's Lumen Field, Quest Stadium, or CenturyLink Field, if you've ever been to the Seahawks Stadium, you know what a phenomenal atmosphere it is for football. A pretty rowdy crowd sometimes, but they know when to get loud on defense and when to keep quiet on offense. The 12s pride themselves on being an educated fan base, and educated fans know that wide receivers at the professional level have to do more than just catch the football. They know how important it is to also block on running plays. Well, here, instead of run blocking, Marvin Harrison Jr. takes the play off. He's not the first wide receiver to do it, and he won't be the last, but this is a pretty costly time to do it as the running play is heading to his side. And remember, Marvin Harrison Jr. is just a rookie. But watch here, he doesn't even touch Reek Woolen. Now Reek Woolen is in a position to make the tackle on Trey Benson. And it's not easy for a corner to tackle a big running back like that, but he does, and he tackles Benson for no gain, bringing up 3rd down and 3. James Conner starts out moving to his right, but he sees the outstanding rookie tackle Byron Murphy waiting for him, so he tries to cut back. But just watch Byron Murphy change directions and disrupt the play. And this brings up a huge 4th down and 1. And Seattle would stop Arizona on 4th and 1. But they called timeout right before the ball was snapped. Now, I actually don't have the footage of this to show you guys, but Arizona is going to get the rarest of things in life, a second opportunity. So how do you handle this if you're Arizona? Well, you've got Kyler Murray, you've got James Conner, you've got a lot of good options here. So they try to wrong foot the Seattle Seahawks. They fake the ball to James Conner, and this really draws in the defense, and it looks for all the world like Kyler Murray has a clear shot to the sideline and the 1st down. And we've said before on this channel, you know, if you're in the open field and you have to change directions, you're already beaten. But Devin Witherspoon is a special player. Watch as he changes directions here and runs down Kyler Murray. Murray realizes he's not going to get there. He tries to throw a pass, it floats, intercepted by Coby Bryant. He's got blockers out in front. It's a race down the sideline, 40, 30. It's a game-changing play, and he would be penalized and fined for this gesture. And it's something that maybe we would have criticized on this channel in the past, but I think Seahawks fans are okay with this because they understand that that was an homage to the great Marshawn Lynch. And watch at the end here, the cheering is so loud we can actually see the camera shaking. In what was an extremely tight, back and forth defensive battle, the Seahawks now lead 13-3, and they would get the ball back. Geno Smith starts off looking to his right. There's nothing there yet, so he resets his feet and comes back to the left. Steps up in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, but at the last second he spots a lane and he decides to take it. But check out Tyler Lockett, waving to Geno, I'm open, I'm open. But man, in the NFL, these defenders close so quickly. And that is a great play by Garrett Williams. When I first saw this play live, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that Geno had thrown another red zone interception. But now that I've seen it from this angle, I understand better what happened. Arizona would capitalize on the turnover, going on a long drive and threatening now with 2nd and goal at the 10. And here we get a chance to see another great defender on the Seattle defense, Leonard Williams. You know, the Seahawks traded a 2nd-round pick for him, a pretty high draft pick, but man, this has to be one of John Schneider's best moves. Third and goal at the 4, and again, notice that camera shaking. Here I think Mike McDonald makes another great play call. He understands the game situation. He knows that Arizona has to throw this ball into the end zone, so he only rushes with 4, dropping everybody else back into the end zone. This is great defense. Murray sees Trey McBride, but he wants him to move to space. In fact, if you turn your attention to the pocket, we can actually see Kyler Murray pointing, and McBride does move laterally, but he does not move back. Unclear if that's what Murray wanted, but that's where the football goes, and the pass falls incomplete. And the Cardinals make the bitter decision to kick a field goal from their own 4-yard line. Seattle still has the lead, but now it's a 1-score game, and here they're facing a huge 3rd down and 8. Arizona very badly wants to stop Seattle and get this football back to their offense. And the Cardinals have their own talented rookie defender, Xavier Thomas, and he appears to have Geno Smith dead to rights. Smith shakes the tackle, buys time, and take a look, DK Metcalf again moving to space, and the defender sees it and he's pointing it out, and the defense would collapse on DK, but not before Geno Smith rifles in a dart. Huge play, 18-yard gain on 3rd and 8. Get off me. One of Geno Smith's great plays for the season. 2 plays later, Seattle would again be facing a 3rd down, this time a 3rd down and 4, but with the clock becoming a factor, there's an interesting strategy element that starts to present itself now. Should you throw a pass and try to pick up the 1st down, try to keep the drive going? They're not in field goal range yet. But here, Seattle very shrewdly, I think, decides that, their defense is playing really well in this game. They're up by a touchdown, so they decide to run the ball. They play the clock, and take a look at the defense for the Cardinals. They are surprised by this play call. They're falling back. They're not playing the run. And by the time they realize it, it's too late. Zach Charbonnet has to be one of the best 3rd down backs in the NFL. And yeah, Laken Tomlinson signals it. It's a huge 1st down. With the clock running, Seattle keeps it on the ground. And Ken Walker has great speed, but he's also a great physical runner as well. And look at this run. Picks up 6 more yards on the ground. Seattle runs the clock all the way down to the 2-minute warning, and here they're going to try a long field goal, 49 yards, and it's a difficult one to the open end of the stadium. The kick has to go a long way, but it's good. And look at the fans celebrating. They know how important that kick was, because now the Seahawks lead by 2 scores with less than 2 minutes to go. It's essentially a game-ending kick. There is your final score, 16-6. The Seahawks get a huge division win over what were the red-hot Arizona Cardinals, and Seattle moves into first place in the division with a tiebreaker over the Cardinals, with tiebreakers over the San Francisco 49ers thanks to their better division and conference play, and with a lead in the win-loss column over the LA Rams. This could be Seattle's division to lose. They play next week against the Jets. I expect Seattle to win that game. And then the following week, they have a huge rematch against Arizona that might decide it right there, depending on what else shakes out over the next couple of weeks. Or it could come down potentially to the last game of the season when the Seahawks play the LA Rams and the Cardinals face the 49ers in Week 18. How exciting is that? Well, I'll tell you what's exciting is this defense in Seattle. The Brass brought Mike Macdonald in for this reason, to beef up the defense, coach these guys up. These guys are playing great. They have drafted to beat the other teams within the division. Seattle is doing that. And I mean, just think about this list of names that we talked about during the video today. Boye Maffey, Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon. How about that rookie Knight? And of course, Coby Bryant. Oh, what an unbelievable game this was. Folks, I want to thank all my new subscribers. We are picking up a lot of subscribers this year. So if you're new here and you like what you see, please subscribe. We have a great community here, and I would love it if you joined us. In fact, leave me a comment. I read every comment. And of course, I have to thank those of you who have gone the extra mile to help support this channel. Guys, thank you so much. Your generosity allows me to take the time to do these videos right, to give you the quality that you deserve. And of course, I want to extend an extra special thanks to our Patreon supporters. Guys, you are an essential part of this team. I could not do these videos without you. Thank you so much. You humble me and you honor me. You truly do. All right, the Seahawks travel to face the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, you know, they might just retire Aaron Rodgers with this defense. We'll see. I don't know how that game is going to play out, but you know, we're going to be here to break down that film, and I will see you guys then.